Party people, welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, the actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two. I'm your host as always, Jeff Stormer. This week on the show, I am joined by Makenzie Armas for a game of Work-Life Balance by Rudo Judo Games. Work-Life Balance is a superhero role-playing game about balancing your mundane and superheroic responsibilities and trying to walk that uneasy line between ordinary person and superhero. It is extremely good. I loved playing it. I thought it told some really fun and interesting stories. It really kind of captured the mood and tone that it was going for. I cannot recommend it enough. You can find more information about Work-Life Balance in the show notes. Makenzie is a streamer and tabletop RPG content creator who is probably working on 14 different projects as we speak. You can find more information about her work at MakenzielaneDA.com or check the show notes for more information. Now, real quick before we dive in, I do just want to remind everyone listening about the standing offer. If you want to get some great free games, donate to the local bail fund, mutual aid fund, or charity of your choice supporting the Black Lives Matter protests. Send me your proof of receipt. I will send you over some great free games, any other games that I've worked on of your choice. That includes Mission Accomplished, a role-playing game of super spies and office meetings, as well as the exclusive PDF release of When You're Here, Your Family. That is to say, the Olive Garden LARP. Donate, send me proof of receipt. I will send them over to you. Your choice of game. Free games, good cause, what's not to love. And on that note, without any further ado, let's throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. This week, I'm sitting down with Makenzie Armas. Makenzie, thank you so much for coming on Party of One.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. I love playing heavy role-playing games, especially with just interpersonal interactions, and this is just catering to all my favorite things. Yes.
That's the dream. We're making dreams happen here. That's what we do on this show. So, real quick, before we do that, before we make some dreams happen here, why don't you take a moment and let the lovely listeners at home know about all the stuff you've got going on that you might want them to know about.
Hi, I'm Makenzie Armas. I'm an independent TTRPG content creator, so you can usually find me yelling into the void on Twitter at MakenzielaneDA.
Big mood.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do on Twitter. If you want to see my face as I yell into the void, you can check me out over on Gilding Light's channel every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as I am one of the players in the show Zyra, which is a Monty Cook cipher system fantasy game DM'd by the wonderful Alice Cleaver, aka White Rabbit Pick, aka the headmistress of the Scraticus Academy, where you can also find me doing a bunch of other random TTRPG things. That's sort of my home base as a streamer. You can also check out my work over on D&D Beyond, over on DM's Guild, doing stuff with MCDM and Matt Colville and all that. I'm just kind of everywhere all at once. I am omnipresent, and what is existence?
I feel like, big mood. I know that feel.
This is my brand, relatable mood.
It certainly is. So, speaking of relatable, we are playing a game about balancing. We're playing a game about balancing too many things at once. Who I assume we'll be able to find some inspiration for that as we go, maybe.
Me looks at my list of things to do before graduation, looks at my list of freelancing work. Yeah.
We'll be okay, I think.
It's fine.
We are playing Work-Life Balance. It is a superhero game by Rudo Judo Games, and it is about superheroes balancing their ordinary lives with their superhero lives and the general struggle to do so. It is a lightweight story game. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to play out a few days in the life of our wonderful superheroes. And we're going to kind of see how they balance and how they make do. Maybe they do well, maybe they don't. It's in the dice to tell us. So, before we dive in, we need to know who our superheroes are. We have 5 questions that we are each going to answer. We're going to answer who we are, what are our powers or abilities, where we operate, when we got started, and why do we fight? Now, I think I want to throw out the suggestion that I think we operate in the same city. They might be different sections of the city, but I think that way, if our characters interact, we have that that shared environment.
Yeah. I figured.
Cool. So, do you have any thoughts on your character?
Okay, I have a couple of ideas, and they've been superheroes I've been wanting to play around with. One is like a partnership, because I was watching clips of Marvel's Cloak and Dagger for a while, and I was just like, ooh, I love that. And then the other is a solo, so it kind of depends if you have a concrete idea or if you want to have more character interactions. It's kind of which one we go with.
I'm all about the intercharacter interactions, especially since it's the two of us. I feel like that's gonna make for like good scene play.
Yeah. So have you seen Marvel's Cloak and Dagger? Have you?
I know the characters from the comics, but I've not seen the show. But I'm familiar with the characters.
I have only watched the clips of the show on YouTube, so this is good. It's essentially like, I love the idea of having two superheroes who work together but have like opposite powers and are like that classic duo. So the one I was thinking of was Hellfire and Brimstone.
Okay, I'll dig it.
And so like having someone who's like has like not just like pyrokinetic powers, but also like really playing into that idea of like the hells and like having like, I don't know, like psychic powers or like nightmare powers and stuff like that. Yep. And then Brimstone drawing from like the opposite side, so more like sort of more angelic in nature, but also like Brimstone is a key component in lightning, so I was always picturing lightning, like lightning angel wings and like being able to summon like lightning weapons and that sort of thing.
I'm kind of picturing, I don't know if you're feeling I'm feeling pretty strongly about Brimstone because I have some specific ideas about like what that puts in my head that I think are very cool.
That's good, because I was really leaning towards Hellfire.
Good. Because like what I'm picturing as far as like powers and abilities for Brimstone is like, I like the idea of Brimstone specifically, like you said, it's angelic, but it's also like lightning and like electricity and kind of storms and furious.
Yeah.
Which all to me kind of paints this very picture of like, I love the visual and I love seeing the descriptions of like the really sort of terrifying biblical angels.
Yeah, the
where
really
they're like,
horrifying angels that are just like, that's not the thing you want to see on the Christmas tree.
Yeah, right. So like in my head, I'm picturing Brimstone as like either containing an angel or being connected to an angel, being like an ordinary person, but can summon specifically like this really like ring of eyeballs and wings and lightning and like very kind of like wrathful, you know, fire or not fire, but like lightning and fury and storms and very kind of like rage and wrath kind of lightning powers.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that contrasting nicely with like Hellfire, because usually Hellfire and like the hells are associated with like that wrathful, destructive power. I love the idea that like my power, or like Hellfire's powers are a lot more passive, where it's just like, you know, like dampening an area or causing darkness or like a not depression, but like making people feel sad. I don't.
Sure.
That I don't know the right word for that, but depression.
Sort of like a melancholy energy.
Like that. Like being able to like remove like hope or like cause nightmares, and they're much more passive abilities. She'd have some like active like fighting abilities, but hers wouldn't be nearly as destructive as Brimstone's, which I think plays nicely into like what you associate with one or the other. Yeah,
and I think he can't control his powers. I think Brimstone, like, it's sort of it's almost a Hulk. It's not quite like a Hulk thing where I lose control, but it's hey, I'm letting this out and it's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, I picture the visual of me using my powers is like, you kind of see that ring angel form around me, and then there's lightning in my hands, and suddenly things are exploding.
Yeah.
That's very good. So where do we operate?
Do we want to do like a really urban city, or do we want to do maybe like a suburban area? There aren't a lot of suburban superheroes, but I feel like
there aren't.
Urban area feels more like things can go wrong, and this game looks like it thrives on things going wrong. So
what if it is a suburb of a major city that is very like sleep, like because I love the visual of a sleepy suburb, especially with sort of two very chaotic superheroes.
Yeah.
And that picture of like the amount of things that could go wrong, like it puts this idea in my head of like one of the things that could go wrong of being like, it is very easy for people to notice us, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah. And it also, like, if there are bigger superhero teams, if we're, like, not necessarily a low-level superhero, but superheroes who haven't exactly proved themselves yet, and we're working in, like, the friendly neighborhood sector, and then occasionally we get pulled into, like, the big fights in the big city, and that also might put us into conflict with, like, some of the, like, more knowledgeable superheroes who know how to control their lives and have their lives together.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like that we're kind of young. I think we're young I want to throw out the idea that we're like young adults. I don't know that we're necessarily full on teens, but I like the idea of being maybe like maybe early 20s.
Hey, it's me.
I get it. It was me once upon a time.
I have a problem. I mean, full disclosure, I literally only play young adult characters because I'm like, I don't know how to play anyone older. Help.
That's valid. I get that. But yeah, I think like, because I think I'm interested in that kind of like adulthood experience of like, okay, like here's where we're here now, and there's no going back, and like we're in the water, and the horrific superpowers are just complicating that.
Yeah, life's hard enough already when you're a young adult. Now let's just add destructive, world-ending superpowers and
So how long have we been doing this? When did we get started?
Let's see. If we're fairly new, I wouldn't say like we just got our powers, but if especially if your character is still struggling to control them, and I'm sure my character also has some problems with regulating it. I'd say a year at most, maybe like closer to a year, 6 months to a year-ish.
Somewhere between like volume 2 or 3 of the single of like the series, like of the trade paperbacks. We're in like that 2 to 3 where like the origin arc is over.
Yeah, like we're past the origin story, but we still have no clue what we're doing.
Yeah, for sure. I think that feels right. That feels good.
Yeah, that feels good.
And now, why do you fight? I might need to come back to this question.
Yeah.
Like this one, this is such a big one that I think I need to know a little bit more about who we are before I can figure out like why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like so we're both going like towards like more not necessarily religious imagery, but more like towards that towards supernatural rather than the scientific. Mm-hmm. So, do you think we got powers together or we got them apart?
That's a very good question. I could go either way. If you feel strongly about one, like they both...
I don't feel strongly about one. That's the problem. I think they're both...
I think together, then. I think that perhaps it was a scenario where, like, a supernatural portal opened, energy kind of flowed out of it, and, like, we just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and, like, what is it? I can see, like, if something happened and there was, like, a portal, I guess, to the celestial plane or wherever the angels and demons are, and when that rift between worlds snapped, like an angel, like a weak angel bonded with you, and then a weak demon bonded with me, and now it's like, well, shoot, I got a demon in my head.
So I love that because it gives us that really great, like, first issue visual of, like, the war between the demons and angels, and then 2 of the wounded ones just, like, tumble through a portal.
Yep.
And, like, I think maybe that's why. I'm gonna throw out the idea that for at least Brimstone, like, that's why I'm fighting is, like, I don't know why that portal was there. Like, like, it happened, the portal, like, hit me and, like, hit us, but, like, who caused that? That person is still out there. Like, the person that opened that portal, the person that, like, did this ritual, they're still out there. And, like, that's very scary. Yeah, I like that, and I think that's why Hellfire's working with you, but I think there's also, because Hellfire is stuck with a demon, I think there's a bit more of a selfish aspect to why Hellfire's, like, looking for the source of this, because she really just wants to get rid of the demon in her head, and it's exacerbating a lot of her, like, more violent tendencies or more, like, selfish tendencies, and it's a lot harder for her to maintain that precarious balance because she feels like she's losing control more. Sure. And I like the idea that with your character's struggle is trying to, like, keep control, and my character's struggle is being able to relax and let go a little because the uptightness is what's causing the conflict between the demon in her head and her. I like that. I really enjoy that. And I think there's an idea of, like, I like that, and I like that I think Brimstone's having the opposite reaction, where, like, the angel in my head is forcing me to I don't think it's a kind of a typical angelic, like, be prim and proper. I think it is, like, you are a soldier, like, of righteousness, go out
discipline
and, like...
armor, regiment, training. It's like having the boop, like in your head.
Yeah, it is. It is like there are people that need you. You have to go to work, and it's like I have to try and like find that ability to live my life with this like this humongous destructive presence of like go fight evil, go fight monsters. There are monsters in the world, and you have to go slay them.
And that sense of like duty and like risk. I like the idea that with our characters, it's like, why didn't you get the demon and why didn't I get the angel? Dang it! And it's like that would have worked so much better, but it would make sense with our like having those two conflicts with your character being more like your civilian persona being more laid back and my civilian persona being much more uptight, but our superhero piggybackers are like the opposite. I really like that. I'm totally on board with this.
I'm feeling good about it. So, who is someone that is close to you? This can be a romantic partner, a very close friend, someone you love, whatever kind of love that is. I have an immediate idea for Brimstone. If you have thoughts for Hellfire.
You go first then, if you have an idea. Because I'm still thinking.
I have a very silly idea, which is like if I'm not duty driven, I'm just gonna lean hard into being like a 20-something artist and say that my special someone is my special someone is my podcast co-host. His name is Martin. We do a just hanging out chatting podcast every Tuesday.
It's one of those.
Oh, it's one of those.
No.
It's like it's supposed to be like what anime if we watched this week, but it's really just it's an hour and a half of bits, and then we have 13 subscribers.
We were really proud when you broke 10.
Oh yeah. We the whole social set 10 social posts of like, hey guys, we made it. Thanks for listening. We're doing this for you.
God. Ow, it hurts because it's so true.
Look, I'm calling out myself here, really, more than anyone.
I love the idea, like, what if Martin is, like, really into, like, superheroes?
Oh, I love it.
Sitting there, like, yeah, can we talk about anime, please? And Martin's like, but superheroes, and you're like, nah, let's not.
Oh. And then it so what I really want that to be then is like Martin is super into superheroes, and like every week there's a check-in segment where I have to like use electricity to like distort my voice, and they're like, hey, it's our neighborhood superhero Brimstone. It's like, hello, my name is Brimstone. And
hello, it is me, Brimstone. Definitely not the other host of this podcast.
Yep.
Because I am Russian, clearly.
I'm definitely doing an accent. It's not a good accent. It's for sure. It is. So it is. It's not even like a it's a superhero like quote unquote news podcast where we follow like what the superheroes have been up to.
Oh my god, yes. And it's like I can just see like the emails being like, hey, so I was hoping you'd come on our podcast, and then you have to like duck out of the room, be like, yeah, I gotta go bathroom real quick, and then you just do Brimstone's voice like in the echoey bathroom, and then come back in like, hi, I'm back.
Yeah, it's great. It's and every time like it's I apologize for audio is bad. And they're like, do you sound like you're in like a bathroom? It's fun.
This is my secret base. It is underground, so echo. So the acoustics very good.
That's it. Yep, that feels very good.
Perfect. Okay, I'm thinking my my person special to me might be like I'm thinking maybe like younger sister that like we live together. Like I'm like there's a big enough age gap where it's like I'm technically her guardian.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think if we're going with like my character's super uptight, let's just pile on the responsibilities. Watch over a child.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the kid's probably more like 10 to 12, like sort of hitting like not teen yet, but like not entirely like a child.
Sure, that makes sense.
Sorry,
old enough that you're not like watching over, you're not babysitting, but young enough that they're still like a child.
Yeah, and I like the idea of this child having such a idealized look at like at their sister, and the sister struggling with like the freaking demon in their head, trying to keep that up.
I love it.
Let's just pile on how many things can our characters screw up over the course of this game. Let's go.
Well, the next question is, who is someone who relies on you? And I think mine is I am the IT person for like a small digital marketing firm. Mm-hmm. And so like the people that rely on me are just the like 13 to 15, digital marketing people that like need me to like reset passwords and connect their computers, and like it's just kind of the very simple sort of like, it's important, and it's the people that I help them out because I help them do their job.
Okay. I think I'm actually gonna switch my younger sibling to someone who relies on you, and I think for the first one we'll do like a romantic partner. It hasn't been dating for like super long, or like they've been dating since before the whole power thing happened, and now they're going through a rough patch because there's a demon, and she's just avoiding her partner because she's got a lot going on, but the partner's like trying to help, and like Hellfire's really nervous about telling said partner that what's going on, because when people hear about demons, they usually don't stick around very long.
Yeah.
Okay. Dope.
What do you do for work? Do you like it? Is your boss a tyrant? I love my job. I love the people I work with. I love the environment. I love doing tech stuff. Like, this is, to me, like the most fulfilling thing I could be doing.
Okay, I think Hellfire's, I'm thinking grad student?
Okay.
Like, does like a lot of like lab work? What's the name? I know this.
Biomechanics?
Yeah, biomechanics, but bioengineering, bio something. I know, it's not bioengineering, but I don't think it's biomechanics. It's like, biomedical engineering. That's what it is.
Biomedical engineering, got it.
Biomedical engineering.
Okay. Yeah, I like that, because that is a very like high stress job that for someone that is like consciously trying to relax, that is very good.
Yep. And I also like the idea that like this person Hellfire was very scientific and very much like, yes, there's no such thing as magic. The superheroes, it's just science we haven't explained yet. Gets a supernatural being in their head. This is just science, I swear.
It's just science. It's fine.
It's just science.
So, the group that we name a group that we're connected to. So I want to make this question, like, how do you relate to Brimstone on a professional level? Like, how do we work together?
I feel like, well, it's been about a year, right?
Yep.
Since we've, like, gotten our power. So I feel like we usually team up when there's, like, we both kind of keep an eye out for, like, supernatural disturbances, because we both want to find the person who caused the portal in the first place. So I think it's just more of, we just kept meeting up after throughout the year, that eventually we're just like, just give me your cell phone number so we can, like, do this and not have to, like, be like, why didn't you call me?
Yeah.
And I think, like, at some point we probably did get the attention of, like, the bigger superheroes in the big city, but they're kind of like, I don't trust you yet, so we're gonna just keep an eye on you, and see how you work. And if you work things out, then, like, we'll recruit you to the big leagues. But right now, it's like, just keep doing you. And it's also, it probably harbors a little bit, or causes us to harbor a little bit of resentment towards them, because we're kind of like, hey, so there's a supernatural something or other causing rifts in the sky. Can you maybe look at it? And they're like, nah, it's fine. We've got bigger things to deal with. And we're like, but we have angels and demons inside us. Can you, like, help?
Anything you can do, anything you can offer.
Anything? Nope. Just a pat on the back and just working for exposure. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Great. Love it. You love to see it.
What do we want to name that group of superheroes? Do we want to give them a name?
Yes, they are the Uh, They're the Galactic Defense League.
Okay.
And it's that they're like we defend not just Earth but like all of the cosmos. Like they are like all Superman level like big ones. So when we're like, hey, something happened here, they're like, yeah, but there's a cosmic civil war event happening that we really need to be at. And it's like, okay, we'll deal with this.
Okay,
we got
yeah,
it.
sure. We'll deal with the planar stuff. It's fine. No worries. It's
all
just
good.
like, possibly Armageddon, but like it's fine. You've got aliens on another planet. That's chill. Okay, cool.
Cool. So I think our nemesis is this summoner, right? I think our nemesis is we only know them as the Conjurer because we've only seen like hints and pieces. We've seen a robe exiting a room and we've chased after them and they're gone.
Yep.
And it's this mystery figure that is causing these, like, summoning these monsters and opening these rifts in the cosmos.
Yep.
And, like, that's who we're after.
Yeah. And it's just like, they'll open a portal and then, like, a demon will come through or sometimes maybe an angel will come through or it's, like, maybe even, like, mythological creatures from, like, completely alternate dimensions just sort of, like, leap through and we're just like, well, shoot! They're off. Everyone else in the big cities is dealing with something on another planet, so guess we're doing this again.
Guess it's on us again. Yeah, I love that it's a very much a, like, we probably, like, you probably get a text that's like, hey, we gotta, and it's like, yeah, I know.
It's like a, hey, demon on Orange Street.
Yeah.
I
right,
saw,
I'll be
there. I just need to finish microwaving my mac and cheese, okay? Just, like, give me 30 seconds.
I'm almost on my lunch break. I just have to get through this meeting. I'll be there in 10.
Just hold them off for 10 minutes, okay?
All right, and with that, we get into the actual gameplay loop. How this is going to work
so
is each turn is one day in the life of our heroes. We have 3 10-sided dice in front of us. We're going to roll those dice, add the results. That's our energy for the day. We also have a deck of cards in front of us. What we're going to do is we're going to draw 3 cards from the top of the deck, put them in front of us. Those are the 3 things that need to be handled that day. Mm-hmm. Some of those are superhero things. Some of those are regular life things. We have to try and figure out how we can balance them, or which things we have to put off until another day, or which things just spiral and get really bad. So let's go ahead and start with day 1.
I actually had a quick question before we started. We know our superhero names. What are our civilian names?
My name is Kevin Ezekiel, because I don't go for subtlety.
I think mine will be Samantha Park, or Sam for short.
All right.
Or actually, if we're not going subtle, then mine will be Samantha Scratch.
Got it.
Or Sam for short.
Yep. Perfect.
Because we're not going subtle this time.
No,
we're going classic comic book, really obvious naming.
Yeah, this is comic books. Subtlety doesn't exist. All right, well then let's go ahead and start with day 1, issue 1. So I got a 7, a 1, and a 2. That is 10 points.
All right, I got a 7, an 8, and a 3. So that's 18.
All right.
I'm doing great.
Now we're going to draw 3 cards off the top of the deck. So I got the Queen of Spades, the 3 of Clubs, and the 6 of Spades. I got the 3 of Spades, I got the 3 of Clubs, the 6 of Spades, and the Queen of Spades. Okay. Each of those is going to correspond to a question. Spades are your superhero work. Clubs are your work as part of the hero community. And hearts are your personal life. And diamonds are your work life.
Okay. So I have the Jack of Spades, the 8 of Spades, and the Ace of Clubs.
So my prompts are the 3 of Clubs is while you are out on patrol, another hero mistook you for. I gotta do that. That feels perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and answer this first question, which is while you are on patrol, another hero mistook you for a supervillain. Why? It's because I caused a little bit of calamitous wreckage.
Accidental holy fire raining down.
A little bit. There was a rift that we were dealing with, and I, brought down the lightning. It was deliberately evocative of the scene from the film X-Men of what happens when you hit a toad with lightning, same as everything else. I blast like a werewolf with some lightning, and all anybody sees is lightning crashing into cars, and oh my god, there's some sort of ringed angel thing. And so now there is some sort of low-level superhero. I'm picturing kind of a Batman or a Moon Knight type aesthetic of like an ordinary person with like an inadvisable amount of weapons chasing after really the both of us.
Yeah. I mean, I think that one ties well into something that one of my cards, which is the 8 of spades, which is a crowded bus is in danger. Is it a supervillain? No, it's just you and your lightning.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We took care of this wolf monster. And then suddenly, like, we realized that, like, a bus had swerved from a bolt of lightning and was about to fall over.
Yeah.
How do we deal with that?
I think one of Hellfire's powers, because Hellfire's powers are much more on subtlety, and since Hellfire's powers are much more on subtlety and subversion, so I feel like one of her powers is being able to, like, teleport from shadow to shadow.
Sure. I love that.
She's able to, like, jump in and grab a bunch of people and then just, like, bring them out. But all anyone really sees is sort of, like, this dark, like, brackish, purpley, like, ghostly fire that just kind of surrounds them. So it's hard for them to tell whether or not it's good or not, because it looks bad, but at the other hand, they're safe. So I'm pretty sure that also connects to the, why is someone chasing after you now? Well, you struck someone with lightning, they saw a really terrifying lightning creature, and then dark flames enveloped the street, so this looks bad. This looks bad on paper. It looks
undeniably bad.
It looks really bad on paper.
There's a scene of us at a coffee shop, and that's the first thing either of us says. All right, so it looks bad. We have to acknowledge that it looks bad.
I feel like we're sitting in the coffee shop, like, with, like, our hands covering, like, our eyes so we don't have to look out the window, and we're just like, so yeah, this is bad. Yeah, we screwed up.
We screwed up real bad.
Yeah.
So I have enough for one of the two cards I have in front of me, either the 6 of spades or the Queen of spades, and the 6 of spades ties really nicely into this, which is, I think, like, the cliffhanger for this, for today, for this issue, is Martin has been kidnapped. My dependent has been kidnapped, and I think, like, we find this out because we get, like, an audio file from this vigilante, quote-unquote, monster hunter of, like, I've got your friend. Like, I've got your podcast guest, your podcast co-host. And
How
it's
did
Martin.
you know about Martin?
And it's because you recorded every single episode with him.
How did you know? How did you guess my secret identity? It really wasn't that hard.
That means that you subscribed.
Oh my god. I feel bad for the person who kidnapped Martin, because Martin's probably like, but you did subscribe though, but you did listen to how many episodes?
All right, now listen. Yeah, I know I'm terrified right now, but I do need to know. Notes. What have you got? What's your feedback?
What do you think of did you think the audio quality was okay? Do you think I should get a new mic? I've been debating about whether or not I should get a new mic.
I know the Blue is a nice brand name, but I've seen a lot of people bashing it on Twitter. What do you think? You've listened to the episodes. Am I overthinking it? And it's like, Martin, and it's just this very intimidating Batman like vigilante, like, I don't care. I don't care.
I like the idea of either it's this intimidating guy in the shadows, or it's actually like we walk into the scene and they're just like sitting and like Martin's like tied to a chair and they're just talking about like, what do you think about the Blue Yeti?
That's exactly what it is, and it's, this very scary, like, heavily armed, big scary cloak and hood, like. It's fine, but, like, a condenser microphone is only going to take you so far. Like, you're going to get background noise. You're going to have issues anytime you're going with a condenser. And it's like, all right.
I like the idea that we walk in and we haven't even, like, transformed, like, or, like, summoned or whatever, like, a supernatural being gives us a problem. We just walk in civilians and we're just like, wait, really? This is This is what... Really?
All right, that makes our job easier.
Yep.
That's very good.
I love that. Okay, so I have either, so my Jack of Spades is your nemesis has been seen in a copy of your costume, or Ace of Clubs, which is just when you thought you'd be late to work, another hero jumped in to finish up. What do you say? I have full energy to deal with the Jack of... What is that shape? Jack of Spades. That's the shape. So I think I'll probably deal with that. Although I'm just trying to figure out, like... Or maybe...
Because I have a pitch for that one, if you want to hear it. So, like, perhaps, like, thinking it through, like, we haven't really talked about costuming yet. I've kind of been picturing Brimstone as, like I said, like, there's the visual of, like, the ring angel swirling around me, but I'm kind of, at least for Brimstone, picturing that on top of just, like, ordinary clothes, and then, like, my face is, like, covered in light, like a light sigil in front of my face.
Yeah.
So, like,
have you seen that art of... I don't know who did it, but they did this... Someone did this really cool art of, like, angels and demons where they have, like, the halo grows, like, a horn out of their face, and the light, like, blinds them and covers, like, half of their face.
I like that.
So I really like the idea that it's, like, you're not wearing a mask. It's just the holy light of whatever angel is attached to your soul is just blinding anyone who looks at you.
That's exactly what it is. And so, like, what if, like, the wearing your costume is, like, being shrouded in that, like, dark flame, and it's, like, something horrible, like, some horrible monstrosity emerged from that.
Yeah, I like that. And that also ties into the cliffhanger of someone getting kidnapped because they're trying to get both of us. Mm-hmm. And it's like, my dependent isn't kidnapped, but they know if they get one, the other will follow. Yeah. And so it's like, it's not helping. It cuts to us in that coffee shop, like, looking at the newspaper and then, like, seeing the shadow of the conjurer in, like, this dark flame walking away from the overturned bus with lightning crashing in the sky, and we're looking at the newspaper going, so this is not good.
Not good.
There is nothing about this that is good.
It's the frustrating thing is that we were close. The frustrating thing is that, like,
were we though?
If I had played better, if I had used my energy better, we could have gotten him. I'm certain of it.
I mean, maybe I don't. There was a lot.
I know.
There was a lot. It's fine. It's no one's fault. It's just
and like that's when we get like the email, or like that's when like the message comes through on the podcast feed.
Can it be like a really shitty burner phone, like calling in audio on the podcast?
Oh, that's exactly what it is. And of course I get yep, they're calling in our podcast's voicemail inbox, because of course we have a voicemail inbox set up. And yeah, it's the crappy burner phone, and like it's us both it's me very specifically going like, I could have controlled myself better, and I could have done this, and I could have we were this close.
And then just like pring 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 pring.
Yep. I have your friend. Hey Brimstone.
Yo, Brimstone, what up?
Brimstone.
So like this this really buff dude kind of came into my apartment and, like, kidnapped me, and, like, now he's saying if you don't come rescue me, I'm gonna die, which, honestly, this is kind of dope, but also I'm terrified, so could you, like, maybe show up? Thanks.
Yeah, alright, I'll be right... I will be there. I will be there, sure. And I hang up and I'm like, I lost the accent. I can't even...
But why do you do the accent in the first place? I told you that was a bad idea.
I thought it would make me seem mysterious.
No, you just sound like a bad Russian actor.
I'm just gonna drop the accent. I think I can just drop the accent.
I think your friend already knows, so I think
he probably knows.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, I'm gonna drop the accent.
Okay.
And
that's where and we walk off into the sunset, going like, you really should stop that accent.
It's just not working.
I love the balance of, like, seriousness and also just the two of us going, yo, you really need to just stop.
Yeah, it's very good. It feels very real.
It feels like the cool thing about this is, like, we're only in round 1 and I can already see, like, panels of this comic book, and that's super dope.
I love it.
Okay, so I will leave. The ace is still around, so we turn that counter, or turn the ones that we haven't dealt with.
Yep.
90 degrees.
We rotate at 90 degrees. That means that it has escalated, and we can deal with it tomorrow. If we don't deal with it tomorrow, we failed to deal with it at all. And that means that we have to explain the consequences of not handling that.
Okay, cool. I have fear.
All right, day 2.
All right, day 2. We draw 3 cards? Or just...
Yes, 3 cards.
3 cards. 3 cards every day.
Oh my goodness, that's a good roll. I feel good.
Ooh, that's a really good roll, too.
That is a 28. Okay, that is good.
Okay, that's not as good as mine. I think mine is 7, 7, 8, so that's 15 plus 7, 22. And then let me draw my cards. Oh, yay, we get some red ones this time around.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh.
I've got the Jack of Diamonds, the 2 of Diamonds, and the 8 of Clubs. So I've got two work-life things and a hero community thing.
Okay, I've got 6 of Hearts, 7 of Hearts, and an Ace of Spades.
Would you like to go first?
Okay, let me see. Hold on. I need to actually look at what the hearts are.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing as well.
Okay, 6. Your dependent has an important date coming up. Oh no, my little sister. A good friend has just lost their job. What will you do to help? Okay. And then Ace of Spades is all you had to do was show up and the villain surrendered. Okay. What are yours?
Mine are, I got some bad news from a doctor.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not great at all.
That's not great at all.
My fridge is empty. Who do I run into at the grocery store? And then I have the 8 of Clubs. Another hero's nemesis has recruited an entire team of villains. How are you helping that hero handle it?
Okay.
And then I also have the Queen of Spades left over from yesterday, which is your nemesis has unexpectedly started flirting with you. How do you react?
Oh no! Oh, that's okay. Okay, I have an idea for that one, which might tie into the grocery store one.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the first one we can do, like, following up from the cliffhanger last time, because one of my cards is just all you have to do is show up and the villain surrenders, and if we're doing the whole cut to us walking into, like, the abandoned warehouse to seeing Martin tied up and them just talking about condenser mics.
Yep.
I feel like that's just then it's like, okay, and the villain or the vigilante is just supremely unimpressed by the fact that, like, you're like 2 20-year-olds.
Yeah. You're
wearing that sweatshirt. Have you washed that sweatshirt? Are you okay? Here, take your friend. Okay, this was really, like, okay, cool, bye.
I give it the sniff test of, oh no, I apologize. That's really should have changed this overshirt.
I mean, to be fair, the smell of lightning powers over everything else.
That's fair. That is a good point.
It's fine. It's fine.
Really, it's not my fault, honestly.
No, yeah, it's fine. It's not like body odor or anything. You're totally fine. It's just just singeing. And the vigilante in the background just like, what the hell?
And it's just like, we good. You know what? We good. Just like jumps out of a window, which.
Because, like, the whole point of the vigilante was, like, these 2 people are a threat to this city and the society, and then these 2 absolute losers walk in, and it's just like, I don't have to do anything to make them not be a threat. They're just, okay, cool, have your friend back. Bye.
Big hero win!
I just imagined him doing, like, a frat boy, like, what? Jump backflips out a window.
Yeah, and just, he's gone, and we're just, all right, we did it! Let's take the win.
Okay, well, you know what? I'll take that one. I have fear, but, I'll take the win. Is Martin okay?
Martin's fine. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. I probably gotta buy new mics, but I'm fine.
It's just my pride hurt, dude. It's fine. I thought my mic sounded fine, but apparently it didn't.
I thought it sounded good.
I think it sounds great, too, says Hellfire, having never listened to a podcast episode.
There's definitely just a single panel of, like, Brimstone, hand on the chin, like,
Press X for doubt.
I'm pressing X. That's really all I can do.
Awesome.
I think I really want to resolve the villain has started. I think that's the setup. I want to resolve the villain has started flirting, because I think what happens next is we get a like a message. This is kind of one of our first like communications directly from the summoner. That is very kind of like playful of like, are you gonna catch me or not? You know, you've been batting at the flame. You've been batting at like the flames without fighting the base of the fire. I'm getting bored. I'm waiting for you. And it's like, oh, well, you could just come to us. We're not exactly hard to find.
I feel like I love the idea that we're like, if you really want to meet us, you can just go find us. But the conjurer literally cannot find us unless we activate our like angelic powers.
I like that. I do like that.
Because I feel like there's something to do with like the fact that they can see into that other realm when we don't have that extra half of us like active, and it's just sort of chilling in the back of our head, and it's more of like our civilian persona. They cannot find us, but we don't know that we cannot be found when we're not taking on our angelic and demon forms. We're just kind of like, why can't you just come talk to us if you want to do this so badly? And they're just like, no, you don't understand. It's not just for the drama. I can't actually find you.
I really like that, and I like that. I like that because it kind of, I think there's probably a moment that I kind of want to play out a little bit of like, we kind of talk through that, and there's this really great moment of like, so that means that, does that mean we have the advantage here? Like, it has to, right? Like, if he can't find us...
Well, I mean, I guess? I wouldn't... Oh, this is not... Okay, hold on. I gotta think. Okay. Well, okay, so he can't find us, or they can't find us, but, downside, they can't find us as long as we don't use their powers, but, we have to use the powers to actually, get rid of them. So, I mean, we're good for now.
Yeah, I guess. So, okay. Let's do some, let's make a list. Pros and cons.
Yes, I'm good at this. I can make lists. This is one of the things
pros
I
and
can
cons. Do. Pro, they can't find us, which means that like they can't come after us, which means our loved ones are safe. Martin is safe. I mean, safe as Martin can be.
I mean, as long as Martin just doesn't go blabbing on that his podcast co-host is the terrifying Angel Brimstone, then he should be fine.
We should be. I mean, well, Martin's probably in more danger than anybody else, but like our coworkers are fine. Like your family is fine. Like they're all fine because they can't find us. They don't know where to find us. So that's a pro. Yeah. A con is that like that means that we have to draw them out, which could also be a pro. That could also be a pro.
Well, I mean, that means we can draw them out where it would work best for us. And, I mean, like, if we just go all Holy Avenger, Hellfire, Scourge, then, like, we know where they'll show up eventually. And it makes sense now why they're causing all these portals. It's just to get our attention.
Trying to draw us out, sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest con to me, then. The biggest con I'm seeing on this list is we can't deal with this quietly. If we're gonna deal with this, like we have to send a signal and more importantly give time for them to come to us, which I don't love. That I don't love, because that's big and it's public, and we've already seen what happens when we go big in public.
I don't want to be on the front page of the newspaper again for destroying a bus.
I'd rather not. I mean, look, and I kind of put a hand on your shoulder. I'm like, look, you didn't destroy a bus. I don't want to be on the newspaper for destroying a bus.
Yeah, but people tend to, like, blame the dark fire, even if that's not the thing that's actually on fire. It's just people like to blame that.
That makes sense. I get. Yeah. Candidly, I probably would as well had I not been in the same position that I'm in.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, like, if I wasn't me and I was just looking at the, dark fire blazing down the street, I'd be like, yeah, that seems like a problem. So, fair. Do we know how they're able to see us, or if there's a way we can, like, trick them into thinking we're showing ourselves, or something like that. Because that's the thing.
I think there might be.
Is there?
Well, because the thing is, I mean, I think maybe I was thinking about this a little selfishly. I think maybe I was thinking about this in terms of, like, if I put out a signal that is clear and undeniable, but I mean, if you send out a signal, like if you whip up your powers, like we could probably use your powers are a lot better at sending a signal that a lot of people don't see than mine are. If I go big and bright, then I go big and bright. But if we just put out a signal that is a little bit of dark fire, that might work.
Yeah, I just go I go half demon.
Yeah,
not full demon.
You know, a little bit of you know, Alakazam, and just enough to put it in the air. I think that might work.
Not a deadly sin, just a mildly injuring sin.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, one of the hundreds of not deadly.
Yeah.
Sins.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think we can work with this.
This is fine. I'm just gonna try and make sure it doesn't go beyond a minorly injuring sin, and it doesn't actually get bad. That's my only concern is if the demon gets a little too strong. Well, we should be fine.
I think we'll be okay.
It'll be okay. Okay, it'll be fine. And I mean, look, if we're going and you're going to be there, and we'll be able to, you can angel tackle me, and it'll be fine.
Listen. If it gets big, I go big. That's how you and I have worked together since day one.
Yep. If it gets big, you go big. We'll keep it on the down low, and it'll be good.
It'll be good.
Okay.
All right, I gotta go. I have a thing. It's just a normal, ordinary, everyday thing. I gotta go. It's gonna be fine. And that is how I go to the doctor.
Just like when you say normal, ordinary, everyday, it's just is it though?
It's extremely not.
Okay, what happens at the doctor? Let's go see. Let's go follow Kevin to the doctor.
Kevin has got a really bad ulcer, and has stress headaches, and is clearly some sort of stress is destroying him, and it's this feeling of the doctor's you gotta relax. You need to take a couple days. You need to take some time off work, and you need to relax. And I'm just yeah, okay. Sounds good. Great. I'm gonna do that, Doc. I really appreciate you letting me know. And in the back of my head, I'm just I gotta fight an evil wizard. This is gonna be great.
And I can hear the angel in the back of your head constant vigilance.
Yeah. This person's trying to dissuade you from your mission.
You have a mission sent by the holy ones. You must destroy this evil thing, and it's just constantly chanting you, and you're just yeah, I'll take a day off. It's fine.
It'd be great. You know what? I've been meaning to take some PTO. It's gonna be great.
Okay. Okay, I have 3 more left.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I want to tie in the one I had left over from yesterday, the another hero swoops in to save the day, with our first attempt to catch the conjurer.
Yep.
So I have an idea for that. I have enough energy to tackle all of them.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think about the order I want to do them.
Okay.
I have a good friend lost their job, and then my dependent has an important date coming up. I have an idea for 6. For 7, I'm not entirely sure. Because I feel it's more does Sam have any other friends? Does she have time for that? I don't know.
So, what I might propose, if you're a lab assistant, it could be the professor. Maybe it's not necessarily that they've lost their job, but maybe the professor that is running the department is transferring to another college, and the whole department is getting shuffled.
So it's not just it's me and a bunch of other people are getting reassigned.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah. So I feel after you go off to the doctor, I go back to the university lab, and I'm late. because we were planning, and it's just sort of like, oh yeah, by the way, Professor Moore is getting, or Dr. Moore is getting reassigned. So
I have a pitch.
Okay, go for it.
If you walk in just in time for Dr. Moore, like a hand on their knee to be like, seriously, though, like, if you want to get in touch with me, like, I have Gmail. It's been so great getting to know all of you. I'll happily write you a recommendation. Please stay in touch. And then they, like, quietly leave the room, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Oh god. I can see like having like the two, like having you at the doctor and then me at getting this information, where it's like the exact same thing, where it's like, it'll be good for you to take some time off. Both of us getting that, and we're both like, yeah. Yep.
Just side-by-side panels of both of us, like, wide-eyed smiling, like, yep.
Yeah. Time off. Yep, this is gonna be fine.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's overdue.
Yeah, I've been meaning to, like, take up baking.
And it's just the backgrounds of all of the panels are, like, angels and demons at war, and both of us just smiling, like, this is gonna be, I'm gonna devote some real time to, you know...
Really self-improvement.
Yeah, new hobbies, really.
Yeah, I'll garden or something. It's like the exacerbated version of the This Is Fine dog, but instead of just fire, it's like the fires of hell and warring angels.
And then...
This is fine.
I think that, like, we pick up on I think we pick up on the, so I'm gonna leave the 8 off, because I have a very good cliffhanger for the 8 of clubs. I do want to resolve the 2, just to make note that my fridge is empty, because I do think the issue ends with, like, unless there's another one you wanted to, or the rest that you want to tackle, but I do think there's, like, a long scene of the two of us on the phone, like, unloading all of this on each other, like, and just talking at the same time, like, and I got a doctor's appointment. The doctor says I gotta take time off.
My lab supervisor just got reassigned, so I don't know where I'm going.
I gotta go grocery shopping, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do about grocery shopping.
And Kaylee has a dance tonight. Kaylee has a dance tonight. I promised I'd pick out her. I'd help her with her makeup. Frickin'.
It's just, and we both just pause, and we're like, I'm sorry, I was talking over you.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. What were you saying? You need to get groceries?
Yes, I do. I do need to get groceries. Do you need anything? Are you good?
I was gonna say, I think I have extras. Like, how picky are you about groceries? Because I've got some food that's probably going bad because I haven't had time to eat a lot. I've just been having protein shakes. I've been making sure I've been eating. It's just like, my leftovers are getting old, but you can definitely take them.
I've had Taco Bell 3 times this week. I can't judge.
That's fair. I mean, hey.
To be fair, two of those were out of choice, though.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, I can't judge you for that one. No, I've just been, half my fridge is Atkins protein shakes, so, they work. And I have been eating more times. They've just been at like 3 a.m., but like, just don't tell Kaylee. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Look, if you want to stop by, can you pick up if you can pick up a corsage and then like drop it off here, then I can give it to Kaylee before she goes off on her dance.
You got it. I'll be over there. I'll be over in 20. I know it. And I think, do you have any other cards you wanted to resolve before I give what I want the cliffhanger to be?
Let's see. I have my, a superhero comes in to save the day, but I think that works out really well with you coming in.
I like that.
And helping with getting me, like, food, and then also, like, helping Kaylee get ready for the dance.
So I think I think the cliffhanger I want to throw out is the 8 of clubs, which is another hero. Hold on, let me find the exact wording. Because it's good and I have a pitch for it. Another hero's nemesis has recruited a whole team of villains. I think I get halfway to your place and I look up and there's just spaceships and I'm like, that's not great.
But you still drive the entire way over to drop off the corsage, and then we're like, okay, and then we're like, you, like, as, like, my sister's getting ready, you're like, so, there's spaceships outside? I'm like, what do you mean there's spaceships outside?
I figured you saw them.
I was busy helping a girl with her makeup cut. It's her first homecoming.
I know. I remember being there. I remember how important they are.
So can we get her to the school?
Yes.
And then go fight the aliens?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it when we deal with it.
Okay. And that's where the issue ends.
That's where the issue ends. Do we want to do one more issue before we wrap up?
I think so.
I think so.
I want to. We gotta resolve the aliens, and then we also gotta resolve the Conjurer stuff.
Yes. All right. So,
but I was able to resolve everything. So
you're doing pretty good.
I'm completely slate clean.
All right.
Which, God, I wish I could do that in real life.
I know, right? This is magic. My slate is clean, other than the alien invasion. That feels good. That feels like a tomorrow thing, frankly.
All right.
All right.
I rolled. This is my worst roll yet, so this is a 17 only.
That is a 25.
Oof.
Good. All right, I can't clear.
Okay,
I can't clear
I'm
everything.
gonna have some stuff unresolved. I think this time around. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have stuff unresolved. Okay, I'm not happy with this hand. Oh no.
All right, I think I know the 3 that I want to resolve, and the one that I want to leave off the table. All right, so the 3 that I have are the 5 of diamonds, which is, you've got the flu. What are you doing to take care of yourself? I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good, that ties in nicely to that storyline of I'm pushing myself too hard.
Yep.
If it's not even the flu, if it's just like a stress cold and it's just like I'm sniffling and it's just like I just look like crap. I like that. I've got the 9 of spades, which is I've been seriously injured. How? Perfect.
Okay.
I have the 8 of clubs, which is our alien invasion, which is another hero's nemesis has recruited a team of villains. How are you helping that hero handle it? And I have the 7 of spades, which is someone has a crush on you. What are you doing? What are they doing to get your attention?
Okay. I punched my mic. Sorry, editing person. But I punched my mic because I got really excited. Because I just figured out which ones I can't resolve all of them. But I can resolve one of them and leave 2 hanging. But I have an idea, so it's okay.
All right. What are your questions?
Okay, so I've got the 10 of diamonds, the 10 of diamonds, the 10 of hearts, and the 8 of diamonds. So the 10 of diamonds is the new hire at work is a villain you fought before. The 8 of diamonds is your boss is considering you for a promotion. Do you want it? And the 10 of hearts is it's your anniversary. What are you doing to make it special? And I have an idea for I'm probably going to resolve only the 8 of diamonds and leave the other 2 unresolved because I have an idea.
Okay.
But let's tackle the aliens
Let's
first.
tackle the aliens. So I think what we see is like we open with like a very big. Ooh, I have a pitch. I have a pitch for it. I think we open with like a TV montage, like one of those like news report montages of us like dispatching aliens. Mm-hmm. And like it's seen over the shoulder of like the Conjurer who is like watching this and is like smiling because like there is no like all of that talk that we gave about like doing it on our terms, we're going to be subtle, we're going to draw them out. All of it out the window. We blew up a spaceship with a lightning bolt. Like it's gone. It's out the window. There is
dark fire like streaking down the streets, and there's like just these like you can see like I could see like if this is like a pan on the street, you could or like a panoramic view of the street, you can see like your lightning figure in like the center, and then there's these little blips of shadow as like I jump from rooftop to rooftop, like tackling aliens out of the ground, like out of the sky.
Aliens are clutching their head as you like infiltrate their minds. Like it's wild, and it is so much larger than we wanted it to be.
Yep.
And I think that's like the montage that answers 8 is like we like clear the block, but we do it in a way that undeniably draws out the attention.
I can see, and also just with how violent and how messy it is, I definitely end up getting a little bit more, like, aggressive with, like, the demon in my head, and you can tell it's, like, it's starting to take over, or it's, like, I'm starting to lose a little bit of my control because I'm fighting it so hard. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll play nicely into a couple of the other things I have to resolve. But.
Yeah. I think that I think I want to save. I definitely want to resolve the injury, but I think that's going to come a little later.
Okay.
And I think the 5 of diamonds. I think I think there's a moment right afterwards if I'm resolving the 5, which is if I'm resolving the 5, which is you've got the flu. I think what we see is there's definitely a moment where like I kind of get woozy and fall over. Like I've just I pushed myself past my limits, both using my powers and just from like a stress standpoint. Like I'm just wrecked, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like barely keeping it together at this point.
And I think that's what snaps me out of my sort of demon-induced like blinders.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like I snap out of it to go and catch you, and that's how the Conjurer figures out who we are in real life.
Yep, that's exactly how we get exposed.
We both snap out of it, and we don't even think about it. Where I'm just like, "Oh, what happened? Are you okay?"
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
You do not look fine. Do not look fine.
I know. I'm sorry. I should have re-emphasized this. We talked over each other on the phone. I'm having some stress things. I think it's because of this whole situation.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't blame you.
The doctor says I need to take some time off. I should probably do that, but
yeah,
this whole situation, it's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Look, you wanna... Do you wanna go pick up... Can you pick up, like, Kaylee from the dance? You can take the rest of the time off. I'll finish this. And,
Yeah. You got it. We're getting ice cream, though, just so you know. I want you to know, because you're gonna have to deal with it later.
Okay, I mean...
Yeah, ice cream! And I'm, like, long gone.
Oh, God. And then it just, like, sighs, like... closes my eyes, and then like the demon form comes back, and I'm just like soaring up into the air. And then we time skip to later in that evening where I'm sitting like in the apartment with like a bouncing like 12-year-old. Like, Kevin, I swear to God, if you weren't sleeping right now, I would be yelling at you, but instead I'm yelling into your voicemail because how much ice cream did you give her?
2 minutes later, you get a text that just says, too much. TBH.
Go to sleep!
And I think I want to resolve... I think this is where I resolved the 9, because I think this is like a good... I think this is a good hook, because then I want to hear if you're going to resolve anything else, and then we could set up some cliffhangers. But like, I love the idea of like, I am driving home, and like, before I even have a chance to react, like a rift opens, and like, an elemental being, like an earth elemental, just comes down and like slams the hood of my car, and I go flying, and I like fall out of the car, and I stand up like divinely fine because the angel breaks my fall, and I'm like, huh? What? And I'm like, crud, and I get hit by the elemental, and I am like on my own with like one of the summoner's bespoke creations like coming after me, because now they know exactly who I am.
Yep.
And they know that I am hurt. Like, they know that I am not 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So, after I yell at you for giving my sister too much ice cream, and I'm just sort of going through work emails, I get an email that's basically like, oh, we're offering you a position to transfer to this new lab. A new professor, a new research. They were just brought on board for the team, but they look... they have outstanding qualifications, and we want you to join in, not just as an assistant, but like as one of the co-developers of the project. And I say yes, and the issue ends with me going to work the next day, and the person who hired me, the new doctor or the new person at the university, is the Conjurer.
Oh,
and I'm working in their lab.
So I have a question tied into. So what do you have unresolved? Let's go into what we got unresolved here.
The one I resolved was the 8 of diamonds, which was I get a promotion at my job.
Yep.
The things that I have unresolved are the new hire at work is a villain you fought before.
Yep.
And the other one is it's your anniversary. What do you do? And I don't think I think I forget.
I think you absolutely do.
I either forget or because I let the demon take over like really badly during the alien fight, I purposefully break it off because I'm like, I can't, like, after seeing, like, how violent I got in the alien fight and just being terrified of that happening again and hurting people I love, I just have to break. It's like our 2-year anniversary and I just have to break it off because I'm like, I don't want my partner to deal with that, and I don't want to hurt them, and they deserve someone who isn't dealing with this much at this time. And I mean, it's like a really, like, the conversation is what happens over the phone is just sort of that, you know, I'm dealing with a lot, and it's very, like, it's one of those things where if you read it in the comics, you know exactly what the character is talking about, but if you're hearing it, you don't know the subtext, and it's just that kind of sad.
Oh, it hurts real good is what it is.
Yeah, and it's like right after I come back from the lab and I realize, like, and I see something that makes me realize, oh, my new boss is the person we're looking for, but I can't do anything about it. And then I come home and I get a text that's like, hey, are we still on for our anniversary dinner? And it's just kind of like that, I have to break it off. I can't do this. I can't put him in danger. He's already put, like, my job, like, this, my job is in danger. My sister might be in danger. I can't put you in danger too, so I'm just going to cut it off. And
I think so. My one unresolved card is that someone has a crush on me, and what are they doing to get my attention? So I think what it is I think that what we see is like, there's a scene after I get beat up where, like, it's Martin the next day recording, like, supposed to record. I'm not there. And, like, just sees the news report of, like, Brimstone getting beat up, and, like, or even better, sees the moment where I collapse, and then sees like a photo of the Earth Elemental fight, and is like, oh fuck. And it's this moment of, like, we realize that Martin has had feelings for me this entire time.
Aww.
And it's this moment of, like, oh no, like, this person that I love is in danger. So he grabs the phone, he calls him up, and he grabs his phone, and he grabs it, and, like, one of the last things we see, I think the last thing we see is you walking into work, and right before that we see Martin grab a phone, and he just goes, hey, I need to call in that favor.
Ooh, okay.
And it's and so, like, the cover to the next issue is, like, the cover to the next issue, which we're gonna, I think we'll leave it at that, but I do want to throw out the cover of the next issue, I think, is you and the Monster Hunter teaming up, fighting the Conjurer straight up while I am, like, knocked out in a corner.
Yeah.
That feels right.
Yep.
And that's game.
Yeah! Oh my god, that was so much fun!
That was really fun. That was really, really fun.
Oh, I could keep playing that for ages.
Oh,
I love
could
these
too.
characters so much.
Oh, I could keep going. Oh, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for
playing with me. That was so much fun. Yes, thank you so much for having me and giving me an excuse to break out my nerdy superhero ideas. This was amazing.
I will never turn down an opportunity to break out my nerdy superhero ideas. Never, ever.
I rarely get to do superheroes because, I mean, a lot of my work is with D&D, so a lot of it is just, like, straight up fantasy. And I rarely get to indulge my superhero love, and gosh, this just scratched that itch.
Scratch that itch real good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was so much fun. Real quick, before we wrap up, where can people find you and your work online?
Okay, well, I'm Makenzie de Armas. Like I said, I am an independent TTRPG content creator, so you can usually find me yelling into the void on Twitter at MakenzielaneDA. That is MakenzielaneDA. You can also find me over on the Scraticus Academy. That is Scraticus_ on Twitter or Scraticus on Twitch. I do a bunch of stuff there, lots of streaming, lots of introducing new people to D&D and other TTRPGs, and more stuff. You can also find me over on Gilding Light, which is Satine Phoenix's channel, every Friday playing the wonderful fantasy game Zyra, which uses the Cypher system, and it's super fun, and I think we'll be starting a new season, or we're going to be wrapping up the season. Don't know when this episode's coming out, but it's going to be good. Either way, you should definitely tune in. And that's about it. Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Oh, this was so much fun. Thank you for coming on the show, and for now I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap things up. Take it, future me. Thanks, past me. And thanks again to Makenzie for coming on the show. That game, I really want to tell more stories in that world with those characters. Like, it was one of those games that just had me so excited from beginning to end. I was delighted. Be sure to head to the show notes for more information about work-life balance. Be sure to head to the show notes for more information about all the cool stuff Makenzie is working on. And be sure to follow Makenzie on Twitter at MakenzielaneDA. Then while you're on Twitter, follow us at Party of One Pod, like the show on Facebook at facebook.com/partyofonepodcast, join our Discord community at bit.ly/partyofonediscord, and if you enjoyed the show, consider leaving us a nice iTunes review, a Stitcher review, or a Podchaser review. All of those things help new listeners find the show and help us do bigger, better, and cooler things. Also, I get a little notification in my inbox that you said a nice thing about the show. It makes my day better, and frankly, it's a nice, pleasant thing to do, and don't you just want to make someone's day a little bit nicer? In addition, if you're looking for more great podcasting content, check out All My Fantasy Children, the other podcast that I produce on the One Shot Podcast Network. Every week, my best friend Eric Catano Size and I take a listener-submitted prompt, we spin it into an original fantasy character, and we populate a shared universe, one story at a time. New episodes drop every Friday-ish at oneshotpodcast.com. Party of One is produced and edited, as always, by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. All music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega Ran featuring the D&D Sluggers, and the Party of One logo is by Evan Rowland. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates, coming on the show's guests, or press coverage of the show, you can email me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. And I guess that's it until next time. Well, thank you so much for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day. Remember that self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance, and as always, party on, everybody.